Greetings, blessed ones. Welcome to A Course in Miracles, Lesson 24. My editor will be pleased. I do not perceive my own best interests. In no situation that arises do you realize the outcome that would make you happy. I'll just quickly repeat that. In no situation that arises do you realize the outcome that would make you happy. Therefore, you have no guide to appropriate action and no way of judging the result. What you do is determined by your perception of the situation, and that perception is wrong. It is inevitable, then, that you will not serve your own best interests. Yet, they are your only goal in any situation which is correctly perceived. Otherwise, you will not recognize what they are. If you realized that you do not perceive your own best interests, you could be taught what they are. But in the presence of your conviction that you do know what they are, you cannot learn. The idea for today is a beginning step in opening your mind so that learning can begin. The exercises for today require much more honesty than you are accustomed to using. A few subjects, honestly and carefully considered, in each of the 5 practice periods, which should be undertaken today, will be more helpful than a more cursory examination of a large number. 2 minutes are suggested for each of the mind-searching periods which the exercises involve. The practice periods begin with repeating today's idea, followed by searching the mind with closed eyes for unresolved situations about which you are currently concerned. The emphasis should be on uncovering the outcome you want. You will quickly realize that you have a number of goals in mind as part of the desired outcome, and also that these goals are on different levels and often conflict. Name each situation that occurs to you and enumerate carefully as many goals as possible that you would like to be met in its resolution. The form of each application should be roughly as follows. In the situation involving Susan, I would like blank to happen and blank to happen, and so on. I couldn't think of examples on the top of my head. Try to cover as many different kinds of outcome as may honestly occur to you, even if some of them do not appear to you to be directly related to the situation or even to be inherent in it at all. Excuse me. If these exercises are done properly, you will quickly recognize that you are making a large number of demands of the situation which have nothing to do with it. You will also recognize that many of your goals are contradictory and that you have no unified outcome in mind, and that you must experience disappointment in connection with some of your goals, however the situation turns out. After covering the list of as many hoped-for goals as possible for each unresolved situation that crosses your mind, say to yourself, I do not perceive my own best interests in this situation, and go on to the next. Pause your video now and do lesson 24, and then join me for lesson 24's Jesus commentary. Lesson 24, Jesus commentary. I do not perceive my own best interest. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one you know as Jesus. This is how you get yourself into a lot of trouble. This conviction that you know what makes you happy. We draw your attention again to the many conditioning processes you have been through in your society. For example, your car manufacturers have spent inordinate amounts of money advertising very sexy cars in very sexy locations, being driven by very sexy people. If you feel bored, unattractive, or lonely, the multitude of car advertisements you have stockpiled in your memory, they are not in your conscious memory, but they are there, will rise to the surface as a solution for your feelings. Marketing is very well done in your society, and one of the great burdens that you, as trained consumers in this society, face. We speak in A Course in Miracles about profound spiritual principles. There are practical demonstrations every day of ordinary things and situations that use and apply these principles. For example, you can look at your diets. You are constantly bombarded by commercials for food-like products. We will not even call them food. Pizza is an example. You see those ads with the big strings of cheese and the happy people drinking Coke and scarfing down pizza. When you get hungry, those images that have coursed through your consciousness rise to the top. A bowl of organic blueberries will not be what comes to mind, because you make the cake of your day from the ingredients you have in your consciousness. I'll just quickly read that again because that's awesome, like it all is. A bowl of organic blueberries will not be what comes to mind, because you make the cake of your day from the ingredients you have in your consciousness. That means as you sit on your couch watching programs programming you, you voluntarily use your free will to allow that commercial into your mind, which makes you complicit in contaminating the ingredients for the cake you make today. We want you to know that this is where a lot of your inability to determine your own best interest comes from. The interventions you feel coming from Spirit these days, the many channelings and messaging programs about transforming your mind and turning toward love, are amplified because we have to call you back from the precipice of the intense mental and emotional manipulation you are subject to in your society. Know it is going to take some time for us to turn your mind around, eliminate, and get you to reprogram yourself. Once again, we ask for your patience in this process. The marketers, corporations, churches, and schools that have trained you have been exceedingly patient and exceedingly determined, and they have spent a lot of money to get you where they want you. You must now become exceedingly determined. You don't need to spend a lot of money. No money, in fact. However, you must now become as determined as they are We do not ask you to judge them. We do not ask you to hate them. We are saying they are clever, and they have used these very principles against you. Now it is time to turn from their food to our nutritious plan of healing your mind. Let us not look out there anymore. Let us turn those programs off. Let us return to the simple clarification process here. Get out in nature as much as you can. Read some good books. Do some creative projects. Connect with your family and friends in loving ways. Begin the reclamation process of taking back your free will. I am that one you know as Jesus, and it is a very important thing for you to do this year. The shenanigans, games, and chaos that you witness out in the world will upset you if you seek peace out there. You won't find it out there. It is the result of a lot of negative programming and fearful minds. Come back to me. Come back to peace. Come back to love a few times each day, even today, and demonstrate your determination to have a peaceful mind. We will speak to you again tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. Namaste.